Hello, lovely. Just a little snippet about my free video series, Love the Skin You're In. So we all know what it's like to be triggered, right? To say something that we wish we hadn't, or maybe reacted in a way that really wasn't helpful. What if there was a way to interrupt those knee-jerk responses and make a different choice? Because we all get hooked on the habit of seeing the world, but how we respond to these situations and more will in part determine how much peace and freedom we experience in our lives. Remembering to pause and take a breath before we react. This can shift the energy of the outcome. Haven't we all had the experience of reacting in a way that was less than ideal when we hear bad news, or being criticized, or being told something that we really didn't want to hear? It actually makes sense. When our emotions get triggered, they actually take center stage, inhibiting our ability to pause before we speak. We might feel compelled to release this inner tension by expressing ourselves in a variety of ways, whether it's yelling back at the person that might be yelling at us, or rushing to deliver a word of comfort to a friend who's in trouble. However, much can be said for creating a habit of pause and taking a deep breath before we respond to the shocks and insults that can become our way of life. Our initial response is usually not what is actually best for us, or other people for that matter, that are or maybe not involved. Reacting to a childish rage with more childish rage can and will only escalate the negativity of any situation, creating an undesirable dynamic. Also, when we react defensively or thoughtlessly, we often end up feeling regret over our words or even our actions. In the end, we save ourselves a lot of pain when we take a deep breath and really tune into ourselves or another person before we respond. And this doesn't necessarily mean that we don't say anything, even though in some cases it actually might be the best option, right? So some situations do require an immediate response, and I get that. But just taking a moment for grounding yourself before you do can help enormously. Just taking a moment to find yourself wanting to react, try to pause, and in that pause, take a deep breath. Feel your feet on the floor, the air on your skin, and tune into yourself for a response to arise within you, rather than going with the first thing that pops in your head. You might just find that in that moment, there is a potential to move beyond reaction and into those subtle and creative realms of response, when something new can happen. So in this free video series, Love the Skin You're In, I'm going to share some optimal ways to actually love the skin you are in. When your body, mind, and spirit are in balance, we experience amazing health and other things. But oftentimes we get caught up in the circus of life, the parade of change and movement, and things get out of balance or sync. So just as there are seasons in nature, our bodies go through times of cleansing and activity as well. Illness is actually one way our bodies restore the balance that we seek, as it cleanses the buildup of unwanted manifestations of negative energy in our system. When we aren't feeling our best, we have the ability to go beyond addressing those physical symptoms to listen to our bodies, as it tells us that change is needed to restore balance. Our bodies give us signals, but if we don't listen to what or when it's expressing those signals that it's tired or stressed, then imbalance increases and a stronger message is required, one that's often expressed by illness or dis-ease. And there are a few steps to regaining our equilibrium, like slowing down, eating healthy foods, getting more rest, and taking soothing remedies. Once we have nurtured ourselves with these things, we can start to reanalyze our illness for the message. A heavy head or mind might be a sign that we have been thinking negatively, harboring emotions like anger, resentment, or guilt, or more. A sore throat might be telling us that we have been speaking without integrity, perhaps gossiping, insulting, twisting of truths, or even speaking ill of ourselves, which can literally knock us off balance, actually. A sore throat or even swollen glands can also mean you're cleansing and processing some powerful emotions at that present moment. Stomach issues could mean that we are having trouble accepting or digesting something, usually, again, emotions. But only you have the knowledge of your thoughts and choices that will allow you to decipher the messages from your body. All it takes is time and attention. And when we take time to listen to our bodies, we can then learn how to restore balance and improve our lives. And by honoring those messages our body is expressing, we can turn a time of illness into a constructive time of restoration, healing, and revitalization. So sign up for this free video series, Love the Skin You're In. It's free, and if you love it, share it, and as always, comment, and I will get to your comments on the live show too. Thanks for joining me, and see you on the other side.